Good morning. In this session, I shall be discussing about the simple permanent tissue. This topic is included in the unit Plant Anatomy of the second semester. I am Shobha Rani, Assistant Professor, Government First Grade College, Chikbalapur. The tissues that have lost the capacity of growth and division temporarily or permanently are known as permanent tissues. It is formed as a result of division and differentiation of meristematic tissue. Permanent tissues may be living or dead, thin or thick-walled. Permanent tissues are of three types, that is simple tissue, complex tissue, and special tissue or secretory tissue. Simple tissues are called homogeneous tissues. A simple tissue may be defined as group of similar cells that perform a common function. These are classified into three groups, that is parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma is the most common simple tissue of the plants with relatively little specialization. It is composed of cells which are usually isodiametric in shape with intercellular spaces. The cells have active protoplast. This tissue is found in all plants. The softer portions like epidermis, cortex, pith, pericycle, whole or part of stems and roots, mesophyll of leaves, pulp of the fleshy fruit, embryo and endosperms of the seeds are all composed of parenchyma cells. It is called the fundamental tissue of the plant because it constitutes the ground substance where other tissue remain embedded. Bodies of the lower plants are made up of parenchyma cells. The parenchyma is the precursor of all other tissue. Parenchyma occur as homogeneous mass in many portions, but it may also be associated with other elements in complex tissue like xylem and phloem. In the mesophyll of the leaves, they are slightly elongated. Parenchyma cells have usually thin cell wall made of cellulose. In storage region, the walls of the cells may be considerably thick due to the deposition of hemicellulose. Often thick and lignified walls are present in the parenchyma cells of xylem, particularly the secondary xylem. Parenchyma is the seat of many functions like photosynthesis, storage of food matters, secretion and excretion. Parenchyma cells occurring in xylem and phloem help in the conduction of water and food matters in the solution. Parenchyma with thin cellulose walls can also serve as a supporting tissue as in herbaceous plants. Epidermal cells with chitinized outer walls have protective function. Parenchyma cells retain the potentialities of cell division. Secondary meristem usually originate in this type of cells. In some xerophytic plants, they are specially adapted for storage of water. Now if we look into some of the important features of parenchyma, these are composed of isodiametric living cells which may be oval or rounded. Cells have intercellular spaces. Cell wall is thin and made of hemicellulose and cellulose. Vacuole is present and nucleus size is small. Cells have dense and living protoplasm. Cells may show meristematic activity, so these are also called as potentially meristematic tissue. It is found in cortex, pith, mesophyll tissue and endosperm and are also associated with xylem and phloem. Based on the function, parenchyma is classified into erenchyma, chlorenchyma, prosenchyma and idioblast. Parenchyma having large air spaces is known as erenchyma. It is found in hydrophytes and it gives buoyancy to the plants. That means it helps in floating. Parenchyma with large amount of chloroplast is known as chlorenchyma. It is found in mesophyll of leaves and helps in photosynthesis. Parenchymatous cells becoming long and tapering at both ends without intercellular space is known as prosenchyma. It helps in mechanical support. Parenchyma that stores unwanted or ergastic substances are known as idioblasts. Briefly, if we look into the function of parenchyma, parenchyma mainly serves as storage tissue. Being meristematic in nature, parenchyma is associated with regeneration, formation of adventitious roots, graft union, wound healing, etc. Erenchyma renders buoyancy, prosenchyma gives mechanical support, chlorenchyma helps in photosynthesis, and idioblast stores ergastic substances. Now if we move on to the next type, that is cholenchyma, the term cholenchyma was coined by Schleiden. Cholenchyma is also a simple tissue consisting of one type of elements. The cells are somewhat elongate, occurring along the long axis of the body. The shape of the cell is variable, the short ones being more or less like parenchyma and the longer ones resembling the fibers, which may have tapering ends often overlapped and interlocked. They are usually polygonal in cross-section. The cells are living with vacuolate protoplast. Chloroplast may also be present. Normally, cholenchyma cells are narrower and longer than parenchyma, but transitional forms may occur. Like parenchyma, it can undergo reversible changes and retain the capacity of cell division. The most distinctive character of cholenchyma cell is the cell wall, which becomes unevenly thickened. There are different methods of deposition, but commonly the thickenings are confined to the corners of the cells. Often the degree of deposition may be so pronounced that the cells look circular in cross-section. So some of the important features of cholenchyma are: it is living mechanical dicot tissue, cells are longer than parenchyma cells, cell wall is thick and made of cellulose and pectin, cell carries less amount of chloroplast. Due to the presence of pectin, it is the tissue with high refractive index. Intercellular spaces are absent because at the corners of the cells, secondary cell wall substance develop, due to which the cell wall becomes rigid and thick at the corners. It is found in hypodermis of the dicot stem and upper and lower portions of the vascular bundles of the dicot leaf. On the basis of the thickening of the cell wall and arrangement of cells, three forms of cholenchyma has been recognized: angular cholenchyma, lamellar or plate cholenchyma, and tubular cholenchyma. Angular cholenchyma is the most common type of cholenchyma, where deposit is localized to the junctions between these cells. That is, the thickening occur only at corners of the cell, side wall remain thin. Example, as in vitis and ficus. This typical cholenchyma is a compact tissue consisting of irregularly arranged cells without intercellular spaces. Due to the continued thickening of the cell wall, the lumen may look circular. In lamellar or plate cholenchyma, thickenings are plate-like and occur in tangential walls. In tubular or lacunar cholenchyma, thickenings are distributed all around the intercellular spaces. Example, as in malva and salvia. Though these are the three types of collenchyma recognized, the sharp distinction between them hardly exists. In fact, all the three types may occur in the same strand, or one type may merge with the other. The wall, though considerably thickened, is primary in nature. It is composed of cellulose and pectin materials with high percentage of water. In some plants, cellulose-rich and pectin-rich layers alternate on the wall. In some cases, the wall may undergo sclerification. Simple pits may be present both on the thin and thick portions of the wall. Collenchyma occurs in the peripheral portions of rapidly elongating organs like young stem, petioles of leaves, floral stalks, and the leaves. They are noticed most commonly as homogeneous bands beneath the epidermis, or they may occur as discontinuous patches. In ribbed organs like the stem and petiole of Cucurbita and square stems of members of the family Labiatae, collenchyma occur as patches in the ribs and at the corners of square stem. In leaves, they may be present on both sides of the veins or along the margin. This tissue is normally absent in underground organs. It is usually absent in the monocotyledonous plants, both the stems and in leaves. Collenchyma is an effective mechanical tissue of the growing organs, where it gives considerable strength and elasticity. The closely packed cells with thick walls have the capacity of increasing in the surface and in thickness when the organs is still growing. In the growing organs, it provides a sufficient tensile strength until more effective mechanical tissue like sclerenchyma are differentiated. In herbaceous stems, collenchyma usually continues to function permanently because secondary increase in thickness is poor in these organs. In leaves, they give support occurring on both sides of the bundles or as isolated patches. Though chloroplast may often be present, this tissue probably has low photosynthetic function. Now let us move on to the next type, that is sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma is another simple tissue adapted for mechanical function. The component cells are usually prosenchymatous, that is, the cells are much. The walls are considerably thickened, often heavily lignified with simple pits. The presence of hard elastic secondary walls with low water content distinguishes sclerenchyma from collenchyma, possessing plastic primary walls with high percentage of water. The shape and size of the cells constituting the tissue are variable. They may be broadly placed into two groups: very much elongate cells called sclerenchyma fibers and short cells, isodiametric or irregular in shape, known as sclerates or sclerotic cells. Though there are the two forms, intermediate types are also formed. Moreover, both the forms may remain intermixed in the same strand to carry on the same function. Some of the important features of sclerenchyma are: they are hard, rigid and dead tissue. Cell wall is very thick due to the deposition of lignin. These are of various shapes and size. It provides mechanical support as well as rigidity to the plant body. Sclerenchyma is of two types, that is, fibers and sclerates. Fibers are very much elongate sclerenchyma cells, usually with pointed needle-like ends. The fibers may measure as much as 55 centimeters in length. Typical fibers have acute ends. At maturity, these cells lose protoplast and become dead. The wall is usually hard, uniformly thickened and lignified. Small pits, round or slit-like in appearance, are frequently present. Often the secondary wall is so much thickened that the central lumen is almost obliterated. Fibers usually occur as groups or sheets along the longer axis of the body in different parts of the plants. They have peculiarly overlapped or interlocked ends. The value of sclerenchyma as the most effective mechanical tissue is due to the interlocking of the ends and considerably thickened walls. Some of the important features of the fibers are they are very much elongated cells with tapering or pointed ends. At maturity, it loses protoplasm and becomes dead. Presence of wider lumen at the middle. Wall is made up of lignin. Fibers are present in pericycle of many dicots and secondary xylem and phloem tissue. Fiber is the longest cell in the plant, that is, the length is up to 55 centimeters. According to the position, fibers are of two types, xylary fibers and extraxillary fibers. Xylary fibers are fibers associated with xylem, while the extraxillary fibers are the fibers present in any other part of the plant except xylem. Example, phloem fibers, cortical fibers, perivascular fibers, etc. It mainly helps in mechanical support to the plant body in the form of plasticity. Fibers are commercially important as hemp, jute, flax, rami, etc. Now if we look into the sclerids, sclerids have extremely thick wall of lignin with narrow lumen. They are of the plant. They are generally found in hard part of the plant and gives rigidity. According to different shapes and size, it is classified into 5 groups. Macrosclerids or rod cells, brachysclerids or stone cells, trichosclerids or trichoblast, astrosclerids or stellate ones, austerosclerids or prop cells. Macrosclerids is a large and rod-shaped one. It is found in hard seed coats of the family Fabaceae. Brachysclerids are stone cells, is small, oval or rounded. It is found in cortex, pith and phloem. Trichosclerids is hair-like and found in epidermis. Asterosclerids is star-shaped and it is found in intercellular spaces of the leaf and stems of hydrophytes. Austerosclerids is bone-shaped and found in hypodermal layers of many seeds and fruits. Now if we look into the summary, permanent tissues are derivatives of meristematic tissues. They are mature tissue and the cell have lost the capacity of cell division. The types of permanent tissues are simple permanent tissue, complex permanent tissues and secretory tissues. Simple permanent tissue is composed of single type of cells which have similar origin, structure and function. The types of simple permanent tissue are parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. The characteristics of parenchyma tissue are they are living tissue. Each cell is spherical, oval, rectangular, polygonal, elongated or irregular in shape. Cell wall is thin, made up of cellulose, hemicellulose and pectin. Young parenchymatous cells are loosely arranged. Intercellular spaces are present. cell stores reserve food materials. Parenchyma is found in all parts of the plant such as cortex, pith, palisade, mesophyll, flower, seed, etc. It is also found in vascular tissues. The types of parenchyma tissue are prosenchyma, erenchyma and chlorenchyma, and also idioblast. Prosenchyma is long and tapering parenchymatous cells present in some plants, example in pericycle. Erenchyma is a type of parenchyma having large intercellular asparesis, example present in cortex of hydrophytes. Chlorenchyma is a parenchyma cell containing chloroplast, example present in palisade of leaves and helps in photosynthesis. Some of the functions of parenchyma tissue are: chlorenchyma contain chloroplast which help in photosynthesis. Parenchyma cell stores food in form of starch, protein, oil and fats. Erenchyma helps in floating of aquatic plants due to the presence of air spaces, that is, it provides buoyancy. Idioblastic cells secrete resins, latex, tannin oils, etc. Parenchyma of xylem and phloem helps in transport of nutrition and water. Prosenchyma tissue provides mechanical support. Some of the characteristics of cholenchyma tissue are: they are living tissue, each cell is somewhat elongated, cell wall is thick due to the deposition of hemicellulose and pectin in intercellular spaces. Intercellular spaces may be present or usually absent. Types of cholenchyma tissues are: angular cholenchyma, that have thick cell wall at the corners of the cell without intercellular spaces. Lacunar cholenchyma have thick wall at the border of the cell and have intercellular spaces. Plate or lamellar cholenchyma are thick wall at the tangential walls and without intercellular spaces. Some of the functions of cholenchyma tissue is: it is the living mechanical tissue and it provides support, as it contains chloroplast, carry out photosynthesis in certain cases. The characteristics of sclerenchyma are: they are dead tissue, shape is elongated and pointed at both the ends, cell wall is thick and lignified, cell lacks protoplasm. It gives strength and rigidity to the plant body. The types of sclerenchyma tissue are fibers and sclerates. Fibers are thick-walled, long and pointed dead cells. Cell wall contains simple oblique or bordered pits. They are present in xylem and covering of the fruits, gives mechanical support. Fibers are of two types: xylary fibers, that is the fibers associated with xylem; extraxillary fibers, fibers present in any other part of the plant except xylem. Sclerates are extremely thick-walled cells with spherical, oval or dumbbell-shaped. Cell wall contains simple pits present in hard parts of the plants, pulps of the fruit, etc. Provide mechanical support. The types of sclerates are macrosclerates, brachysclerates, trichosclerates, asterosclerates and austerosclerates. Functions of sclerenchyma tissue is: sclerenchyma is made up of dead and lignified cells which provides mechanical support to the plants, provides hardness to the stony fruits such as nuts, coconuts, almonds, etc. So, this was the brief description of simple permanent tissues. Thank you.